Change is in the air in the UK.
I'm really happy that we've got a Labour government and we don't have the farce that has been going on for the past 14 years.
We haven't really seen, we don't remember Labour ever being in Parliament whilst we were younger, so yeah, it's a good change, isn't it?
Excited for change, hopefully bringing some good to the country.
After 14 years of Conservative rule, this was the moment Sir Keir Starmer took the keys to 10 Downing Street, becoming just the fourth leader in UK Labour's history to win a majority in a general election.
Now our country has voted decisively for change, for national renewal and a return of politics to public service.
Truly historic. I mean, it's always said, isn't it, that journalism is the first draft of history, but we were there in Downing Street watching the new Prime Minister, the 58th Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, sweep up the street. And, you know, this is a man who has never been in government before, and he's heading through those doors to deal with the most momentous challenges facing our country.
For the past 4.5 years, I've sat on one side of the house. I'm going to have to remember to go to the government side of the house. But I think it's absolutely great. We've wanted this change for such a long time.
Labour's triumph seemed inevitable for weeks, and as exit polls were released at 10 p.m. Thursday night, it became clear the party was headed for a landslide victory.
The whole map is changing tonight. It's just an extraordinary prediction we've got here. Most of the blue has been washed off this board.
The enormity of the Labour win came at the hands of a Conservative Party capitulation, with the incumbent Tories losing 244 seats.
It is a sad day, yes. It's the worst result the Conservatives have had in their modern history, that's since 1832.
Prime Minister Rishi Sunak conceded at the earliest possible opportunity.
The Labour Party has won this general election, and I have called Sir Keir Starmer to congratulate him on his victory. Today, power will change hands in a peaceful and orderly manner, with goodwill on all sides.
Rishi Sunak was the Tories' fifth Prime Minister in 14 years. Former Cabinet Minister Dominic Grieve says the party lost its way after the 2016 Brexit vote, and it never recovered.
Politically, there was drift because nobody knew how to implement Brexit. And eventually it delivered the party into the hands of Johnson, who was really a charlatan, without any underlying policies which were credible. And eventually actually also showed something which most of us always knew, that in fact he was a very poor administrator. He just didn't do his homework. And that really damaged the party's brand.
Boris Johnson resigned in July 2022.
It is clearly now the will of the Parliamentary Conservative Party that there should be a new leader of that party and therefore a new Prime Minister.
The membership replaced him with Liz Truss.
I have a bold plan to grow the economy through tax cuts and reform.
And whatever her intentions may have been, she pursued a reckless financial policy that delivered very quickly a monetary crash and a situation where the UK was no longer being regarded as a credible borrower. So I feel very sorry for Rishi Sunak because he's had to pick up the pieces from all this.
The former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom has lost her seat.
Several Tory frontbenchers and high-profile party members lost in their constituencies.
From the ashes of disaster grow the roses of success. So thank you very much to everybody and good night.
The Conservative Party has taken a battering because it failed to honour the trust that people had placed in it.
In terms of looking at the figures now, do you think this means years, if not perhaps a decade of opposition for the Tories?
In theory, it should. When you look at 1997, it took a decade before the party became credible again. But then we don't live in that period anymore. The volatility of the electorate is absolutely clear.
Rishi Sunak has since acknowledged the bloodbath, a day where even immortalised Tories weren't immune from the humiliation.
To the country, I would like to say first and foremost, I am sorry. I have given this job my all, but you have sent a clear signal
Channel 4 presenter Kathy Newman covered the election campaign.
Rishi Sunak graciously conceded. He passed the baton to Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer acknowledged Rishi Sunak's own historic journey to the office of Prime Minister. And there were real echoes of Tony Blair, not just because of the level of the landslide, but also conscious echoes in the street. There was a crowd of supporters gathered there, just as there was in 1997 with that Labour landslide victory.
So Keir Starmer becomes Prime Minister amidst a climate of anger and disenchantment within the electorate. Voter turnout was the lowest in 2 decades, and Labor's vote only increased by about 2%. It actually lost seats in some areas with high Muslim populations. Pundits attribute that to the party's stance on Gaza. And then there's parties like Nigel Farage's Reform, the Greens and the Liberal Democrats, which all perform strongly. If this election says anything, it's that the people of the UK are eager for change.
That is going to be one of the huge challenges. This is a country with many divisions. You know, we've seen how that's played out in America.
But Labor MP Bel Ribeiro Addy says the party is confident it can deliver the change it's been promising and unite the country.
Because I believe that when Labour win in this country, people win. We've seen all of the suffering that the Conservative government have brought, and we just want to get about changing it.